Hello, everyone, and welcome to 11 Foot Pole, a tale of high adventure. This is our ongoing Rime of the Dark Sun 5e campaign. My name is Glenn. I am the Dungeon Master, the long-suffering Dungeon Master for this session. And joining me, Taldori's player is flying back right now from another burned hellscape known as Hawaii. So he's really in the spirit of things, having experienced the desolation that is the Big Island. But I am joined by...
I'm Darren, playing Zorus, a 4th level mole gladiator.
I'm Corey, playing Fulgrim Dustwalker, level 4 Savage Barbarians of the Wastes.
I'm Jason, playing Chaka, a 4th level Thri-Kreen Ranger. Yeah, of the Waste. That's right.
And I'm Matt, playing Darok. I believe I'm still 3rd level because I missed a couple weeks. Maul of the Wasteland.
No, you should be 4th level with everybody else.
Oh, okay. I hadn't changed that yet.
Were you even here for the last session? Is that why you're...
That's why he's still at 4 health point. 4 HP.
Ah, the mystery is solved. You missed an entire session. You guys leveled up and completed a long rest.
Ah.
So just put yourself at full hit points, and we'll figure the rest out later.
Okay.
You'll get more spells and all kinds of cool stuff. So we're just coming back from our holly jolly Christmas break, and once again, yours truly, the trained audio recording technician who has worked in a professional recording studio for several years, could not record a simple Discord conversation without this awful, awful feedback sound that was through the entire recording. So we're going to catch you up, dear listener, on what you missed. This is not a recap for the players, who I'm sure, on the tip of their mind all through Christmas and New Year's, have been remembering everything that happened. The party had reached the village of Nightstone, and of course, it doesn't have this greenery. It doesn't have water in this ditch, but a Dark Sun version of Nightstone. All these rocks, all these boulders had been thrown over the walls and had destroyed a bunch of the buildings. The party got in here. They fought some weirdlings, and the stone, the obelisk, the black stone obelisk that gives the town its name, had been uprooted. So the party fought off the weirdlings, and in the episode that was tragically lost, they explored the town a little bit. I think they found a little bit of treasure, some goodies. They went up to this tower where the signal drum was, and they chased off the weirdlings that were up there and found out what happened up there. And then they came up to this bridge to talk to the people who were still alive, the villagers that were still defending this kind of raised fortification area. So they were, I seem to remember a certain halfling barbarian that thought it would be hilarious to just take a running leap across the expanse. Chaka, of course, is a grasshopper, so he jumped across with no problem. And the people that were holed up there, the village speaker had been killed by one of these boulders. And the soldiers that were left, I was doing a voice a little bit like this for the guy that greeted them at the wall. And so everybody started calling him Shaggy. So then I changed all of the internal characters. So there was a hot redhead, there's a blonde guy with an ascot, and there was this kind of frumpy chick with glasses. And she was the one that went with them back into the town. They looked around, and they got the story of what had happened. A bunch of rune giants had showed up outside the city and started throwing these boulders until everybody evacuated the city. But the bridge there was destroyed, so the people in the fortress were stuck in the fortress. But everybody else evacuated the city and went to these caves nearby where they go in time of attack or whatever. The rune giants came in, they ripped the obelisk up out of the ground and just left with it. And the guys in the fortress were like, whew, that was a close one. We're just going to hang out here since this bridge has been destroyed. Everybody's going to come back from the caves pretty soon, and everything will start getting back to normal. We'll elect a new town speaker. Well, the people that were hiding in the caves, the villagers did not come back. And instead, these weirdlings showed up and were running around the town, acting crazy, doing graffiti, burning the roofs with their lighters, taking the juice out of their vapes to stink up some of the rooms, just random vandalism. And that's when the party showed up. So the party took a long rest in one of these rooms, in one of these abandoned buildings. And when the morning came around, Velma was a little worried now that the people of the town had not returned from these caves where they were hiding out. They should have been back. This is like the third day. They should have been back by now. So, of course, the party decided valiantly to go check on them and see what the problem might be. There was talk about whether or not the party should try to follow the giants and find out what was up with them. But it was universally decided by all of you guys, that doesn't sound like our problem. I mean, they stole the nightstone, but who cares? Let's leave them alone. So you guys went off to the northeast. You followed the tracks of the people. You found the caves that they were hiding out in, these gravelly caves. But you found outside the tracks of sand people, right? The Dark Sun Raiders were apparently also using this cave, and they marched their banthas in single file to hide their numbers. But there's definitely some Dark Sun Raiders up in there. So realizing that, you guys peeked in to the caves and saw them in there and came up with what I have to say was a pretty good plan. You guys had a pretty good plan for how you were going to bottleneck them in the entrance of this cave, and you guys were going to pepper them with long-range attacks as they came out. You guys got the initiative, but then starting to realize you couldn't really fire into a dark cave from outside where it was sunny, and so everybody ended up right by the mouth of the cave as the Tusken Raiders were like, and came out to fight you with their famous battle cry. So you guys did a great job of wrecking these raiders. You found out that they use music as part of their battle strategy. There were a whole bunch of regular raiders, and then there was one bigger, muscular kind of leader guy. And you guys had a fight against them. Corey, that's when you used your rage. I don't know how many hit points all you guys have right now, but you just finished that fight, and you came into the main cave area that these sand people were using as their hideout. There are 3 ways out of here. And let me ever so briefly, describe. There was back here in the very back, there was kind of a mud bath kind of pit that's full of this hot mud, and the big, strong Tusken Raider was actually in there exfoliating his pores, or I don't know. He was getting a mani-pedi, and so he came out all completely, covered and slathered in mud. So there was a standoff there. But now things have calmed down. The echoes of their battle cries have died away, and you guys have got to decide what you're going to do. So, what are you going to do?
Are any of you said there's three ways out of this room, not counting the way we came in?
Correct. So you came in over here, and then there's kind of 3. So this is all natural cave. There's 3 ways out of here, yes.
Do we see any any path that seems more traveled than the others?
What a good question. Why don't you make a survival roll?
Wow. Nat 20, 24.
Good. Great. Oogly moogly. Yes. This hallway shows by far the most traffic. You think this is the direction that the villagers went. But there's also sign of foot traffic going down the other two corridors, but it looks like that's more the sand people have been using it for a period of time. But this one over here shows a lot more traffic.
That was a good question.
I missed this, but did we search all this, see if they had anything worth taking?
Yes, you did. I don't remember if they did or not, but it should already be in your inventory. It might be in JP's inventory. I don't know.
I don't think they had anything.
I don't think they
There,
did.
do you think last episode he says, "Hey, we'll deal with what's on him at the beginning of the next episode," and then the next.
See how I do that? See how I do that? I don't miss a trick. Well, how thoroughly do you want to search the dead naked champion?
Thoroughly.
You go over and you check out the champion's clothes, which are in a neat pile, a neatly folded pile there beside the mud pool. And wait a minute. I'm getting an echo back from you. Okay, now it's gone. Okay. And you find three healing fruits. So it's basically a potion of healing. It's 2d4 plus 2 hit points. But they're dried pomegranates. Who takes those? Who's writing them down?
I don't think any of us. Does anybody already have anything for manual healing?
That's what I was looking.
We have healing grapefruit. We each got one of those at some point before we headed out on this adventure.
Yep.
So these are healing pomegranates.
Yes. Dried pomegranates.
Maybe one. Who's a squishy character?
JP.
JP should get one.
Yeah, Tal'Dorei definitely needs one. But he's not going to listen to this episode, so one of you guys needs to actually write it down.
Is he our?
How about two frontliners? So Fulgrin and Zorus.
We'll split them. Yeah.
Well, we
I'm
each
good
take
with-
one, and then
I'm good without it.
well, we could leave you, Chaka, since you're very mobile.
Mhm.
You could have one in case you need to pick somebody up.
Smart.
Oh, but you have healing.
I have healing. Yeah. So I'm saying it's not as important for me. And I
Okay,
also
we'll
still have a grapefruit.
We'll give the other one to the psionicist JP when
Okay.
he gets back.
All right, somebody send him a text. I'm sure he'll look back through the text feed for sure. All right. Which way do you guys go?
Towards the direction of foot.
Follow the crowd.
Yeah.
All right.
Villagers, yeah.
All right. So you guys, by the way, you all notice suddenly Tal'Dorei isn't looking so good. Tal'Dorei just doesn't seem to be dealing well with the humidity of this underground. Well, it's not humid. The aridity, the aridness of the dry air down here just isn't good for her skin. You guys have a feeling she's not going to be very useful down here. She's dreaming of a faraway land where they put a wreath of flowers around your neck as you get off the airline and charge you too much for seafood. I don't know. Nothing? Okay. All right. I'll keep working on it. I'll workshop it. I'm not saying it's in its final form. Okay. So you guys get here and you see there is a gaping pit, right? Naturally formed pit. A naturally formed pit in the cave floor here, right? And you hear this kind of chittering echoing up, this little echoing up, and you look across, and over here, everybody give me a perception check.
Got an 11.
Ooh, I got a 21.
Okay.
13.
Okay. Matt, are you still leveling
12.
up? A 12. Okay, so Chaka, what'd you get?
21.
Okay. All of you can see shapes moving around in the shadows there, far away. But only Chaka can make out. It's actually the it looks to you like it's some of the missing villagers, right?
Village people?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Like 10 or 11 arms.
What'd you say, Darren?
Like some of the villagers, like 8 of the 10 of them, or just a pile of arms and legs.
Chaka, you're trying to figure out if it's all of the villagers or just some.
Yeah.
And of course, you've been to Nightstone before, so you see the policeman, the Indian chief, and
Construction worker.
the construction worker. Those are the villagers that you can make out for sure. You're not sure, where if they're all back there. It's very dark.
It's very dark. Well, listen, I'm going to communicate that to the barbarian.
Okay.
Because no one's going to understand what I have to say. So, click, click, pop, pop.
Right.
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 So
right,
I'm going
right.
to telepathically communicate this to the barbarian.
Right. Okay. Do you guys have like a light source per se?
Yeah, it's JP. He's carrying a torch.
Ah, right. All right. What are you guys going to do?
So we're hearing some chittering from this big hole.
Yeah. You're hearing a weird clickety sound echoing up from the depths. It's kind of clickety.
We had said villagers can see us. Can we signal them somehow?
Absolutely. What are you signaling them?
What the hell
Hey,
is with
you
this?
guys!
I'm saying, what the hell it would be my starting point.
Are you just yelling that to them?
That big grin. No, don't just yell that.
No?
Okay, let me do this. Okay, you don't think they've noticed you guys yet. They probably can see the light of Taldori's torch, but they don't seem to be reacting because he's kind of back in the hallway a little bit.
Jason, are you able to communicate with any of the villagers telepathically?
Let me see how that reads.
Now that is from a separate book. Let's say for the sake of argument that you can. Well, I would say
willing
they're
creatures.
Say what?
To willing creatures.
Yeah, what's the range?
120 feet.
Oh, really? Okay, then yeah, you can absolutely talk to them.
Yeah, I assume that our party is willing. I don't know about.
Oh God, we had this whole throwdown about this in the Drakenheim campaign a couple weeks ago.
Oh, about willingness, right?
Yeah. Can an unconscious creature is an unconscious ally a willing target?
Well, what I'm saying is,
in this case, they are willing, and they say, "Shh."
they say, "What the hell is that voice in my head?"
No, but they've met you before.
These villagers have.
Yes, you guys have been to this village before. You guys go around to all these villages every season to trade. So they've probably met you before.
Okay.
And they're like, do not disturb the lurkers in the pit.
One of my long-term goals with you guys is when he says things that are good for us, to argue with him.
It does seem to be a recurring
Yeah, it does.
trope.
Well, for your previous conversation that you were discussing, as an EMT, an unresponsive person gives implied consent.
Really?
Yes.
I like that. We did not think of that when we were playing our Dungeons of Drakkenheim campaign, which you can check out by Googling or going on YouTube and searching Dark Souls of Drakkenheim and get caught up on our entire gothic horror dark fantasy Drakkenheim campaign. Although that episode is not out yet.
Well, you asked that question, so where are you going with this, Matt? You're like,
No, Well, you were, instead of yelling, "Hey, what's down in the pit?" You say, "Hey, what's down in the pit?" Mentally.
The lurker. There are lurkers in the pit.
Is that a bad thing? Lurkers?
Usually.
Roll a nature check.
I am
Roll a
thinking
nature check, Shaka.
Ooh, got a good one though. I got a good one.
Clicking sounds like a predator to me. So.
Got a 19. Oh
dear God.
yeah. Okay, got it.
This is a lurker.
Yeah, that's a bad thing. Is it humanoid?
He was on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, it is. It is a medium humanoid, and you know that they can. Their snake-like lower bodies allow them to climb vertical surfaces with ease.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry if I get this right, but are the group of people, the villagers, where are they?
They're down here. They're all the way over here. So you guys are here. There's a pit that the sounds are coming out of. And then way over here, and it looks like they're in some kind of cage or corral, are the village people.
Okay, so the lurkers in the pit, once that was referenced, Chaka will at least take a sort of a proactive, I'm about to shoot something that comes out of the hole.
Okay.
With his range. Yeah.
Are you going to tell the barbarians so that we know what's going on?
Yeah, good idea.
Okay.
So
actually, let me give you the verbatim of what the villagers tell you.
Sure.
Yeah. Young man, there's no need to feel down. Young man. Did you come from our town? There are lurkers down in the pit. Okay.
Okay, how far across?
L-U-R-K.
Well, it looks like we can go around it.
Yeah, how far is that pit across? It looks like it's about 15 feet, right?
It's about so each of these is 10 feet, so it's about 30 feet across.
Got it. Okay.
Maybe from this to this might be 15. I don't know. I'd have to go back and do some high school geometry.
If you jump across, he may see you. It may
Just because
see
you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Corey. Are you part of this group?
All right.
That's exactly what it means.
Chaka's going to go around then.
All right. Are you trying to sneak around?
Would it matter if I have my bow or my Giska in terms of should something come up around the edge?
You would want your bow in case it's not coming up adjacent to you.
Got it. Okay. So that's what we'll do. We'll keep the bow. Gonna sneak around.
All right. Give me a sneak check.
And when you're on the other side, what are you gonna do?
Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. I haven't really thought that through.
Well,
what is that?
Okay.
Do I have to beat that?
You have to beat more than that. That was my roll plus my perception to try to hear you coming around. So go ahead and roll that sneak check.
Ridiculous. What is it? Stealth?
Yes, sir.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
I got a 21. Suck it.
Woo!
I got +6 on stealth.
So you're creeping around, right? And you're doing the thing. I can't remember what video game it is. It might be Dishonored. But it's like you move a little bit and kind of the awareness level goes up and then you stop and you wait for the awareness level to kind of come down a little bit. Then you move a little bit more, and you try to see how far you can get. So that's what's happening. The chittering sound gets a little bit louder, and you stop, and you wait until it kind of goes down a little bit, and then you move a few more feet. But you finally get over here, and yes, now you can see. It looks like there's enough villagers in this corral to be the entire population of Nightstone.
You call it a corral? Are they boxed in there? Are they being kept there, or are they just?
There's a cave, and someone has built this gate thing out of dried cactus sticks, and it's just like tied up with a knot, but there are all these little like shells and bits of chitin on the knot. So if you try to untie it, it's going to make a bunch of noise.
Got it. Do the villagers, any of them, have their weapons, or anything, anything that could be used in a fight?
Yes, they do. They were not necessarily disarmed or whatever.
Got it.
And they tell you, Chaka, down in the pit, there are lurkers. The slightest noise is going to bring them swarming up out of the depths. And apparently the only thing that calms them is the songs of the sand people.
Huh. Okay, so I'm going to communicate that back to the barbarian again.
Right.
Also, that there's shells wrapped around the gate. How many people do we have in there? Does it matter?
Like 100.
What are their names? All right. So we do have a problem, right? I'm going to communicate this to the barbarian. Ask the barbarian.
Okay, look here. You got the Agnor family, the Diffendrell family, the Holvrand family, the Nesper family, the Asatra family, and the Summerhawk family. Ha! You thought I didn't know what their names were.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's got individual names for each person. It's got their ages.
Yeah. Goodness.
So look at that.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm dumbfounded.
Hey,
somebody. Yes, sir.
Are those all Dark Sun approved family names?
They are now.
Okay.
For those that are listening to the podcast, I'm using Storm King's Thunder, and they have a whole list of the families with individual family members and their ages. So anyway, there's about 80 to 100 people in here. And they tell you, a few have already been taken away by the Sand People. They don't know where to. But most of them are being held here. But they're too afraid to try to get out because, first of all, the Sand People are in the very next room. And second of all, they can't untie this thing without alerting the Lurkers.
So Sand People are in the next room, you said?
Yeah, the ones that you killed. The ones that you fought and killed. They're like, even if we could get past the Lurkers, we'd have to get past the Dark Sun Raiders, and, they're the ones that took us captive in the first place.
But the Sand People can sing melodies that calm the... Are you sure there's not a sand person that is near death next door?
I distinctly remember you guys murdering the snot out of them before Christmas. I'm pretty sure you murdered them up pretty good. But there might be some that are alive. There were 2 other hallways out of the main area there. So,
okay, so Fulgrim has received this communication from Chaka telepathically, and is going to pull the other 2, Derek and Zorus, kind of back into the hallway a little bit so we can whisper and not alert the Lurkers, so that we can discuss this. So I'm not going to whisper on mic so you guys can hear me.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have. I can't count very high. We have a lot of people in there. The gate is booby trapped to make noise. Even if we could get the gate open without making that noise, then we would have to have a lot of people walk past the pit without alerting them. So we could either go ahead and alert them and fight them and kill them so that the villagers are safe and can leave. Or we could go try and find some sand people, or at least one, and force them to sing the song that evidently will pacify these things.
Do we have anything that could work a incendiary device that we could throw down in the pit?
No.
Spell, anything?
I've got a rock.
Darrock, do you have any useful spells for this situation?
Not for this one.
I do. I don't know if it will work, but I do play a mean bone flute.
Oh, boy.
Is there?
Literally, it's right here. It's on my character sheet. I have a flute made of bone. So I don't know if that would.
Oh, got it.
If that would do it. I was not the best bone flautist in my village, but I practice daily.
Then what about the ceiling of that room? Would there be any way? I'm trying to think if we could cause any sort of rock slide or thing down in the pit, but probably it'd be tough without putting the villagers in some peril.
Roll an intelligence check. I can't think of what skill that would be, unless you're skilled with stonemason's tools.
I've got a 10, and I have a 10 in intelligence.
Okay. I mean, there are some... You rolled a 10. You know that the hang-down kind are called stalactites, and the pointy-up kind are called stalagmites.
Right?
Yeah. That's how much you know about collapsing this cavern. There you go. That's your bit of trivia for the day.
So I don't know if Jock is able to hear this conversation or not telepathically, whatever's being said over there, unless he's spoken to directly.
I mean, you're linked in with Fulgrin, so you're part of the conversation.
I'm part of the conversation. Well, he suggests that we could throw a couple villagers down the pit to keep them busy while we get the rest out.
Wow.
Oh, why wouldn't we just throw a couple of the dead sand people down there instead?
We could do that, but again, it's what is that? The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few,
Or the one.
or the
Wow.
one.
A little with bad guys rather than the live villagers.
Just saying, he's a Thrycreen, and remember, he kind of thinks about eating.
What I
humans.
love is that this is how the conversation goes in canon. Fulgrin's like, Chaka is saying we could throw a couple villagers down there, and maybe that would give us time to rescue the rest. And everybody on this side looks at each other. It's like, why wouldn't we just throw some of these dead sand people down here for the same purpose? And everybody looks across at Chaka, and Chaka's just over there with his bug face, like,
Right.
the needs of the many, guys. All right.
Do we have any idea how many of these things are down there?
You do not. You know they tend to congregate in swarms, so it could be a lot. It could be,
Or it could be a
5.
swarm of one.
It could be 5. It could be 10. It could be 15. You've heard of some pretty big swarms of lurkers.
Do we know how fast they move?
Roll
Nature
a nature check.
Not good. Nope. Got a 4.
You don't know. What you've heard is that as long as you are faster than the slowest member of your party, you have a pretty good chance.
Pretty good chance.
So he'll just outjump
And
us.
there's no other way out of this room, right, Glenn?
No. Mm-mm.
Do we have
no
a...
way. I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
but there's no way of getting these people around this pit.
I'm not hearing you, Corey.
That's because I muted my mic.
Okay.
So maybe there is, okay? There's 2 other paths in the first room we came in. Those, we saw that sand people had gone down them. We could go check those out, not kill them.
This time.
Or at least not all of them. Find someone who can sing the song and bring them up here on pain of death, have them sing the song. Because, hey, if they don't sing the song,
They're going to die
come
anyway.
up and kill them anyway.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Once you're in the room, we kind of got you about the short hair.
Sing or die.
So I think we should,
That sounds good.
Chaka should come back to us. These guys are pretty safe where they are right now, like as long as they stay quiet.
Right.
And
Right.
we can
I agree.
explore these other passageways and see if we can find a way to soothe these beasts.
I agree.
Chaka, give me another stealth check to get back across.
Yeah, so this is presuming that Chaka makes it back across, right? Or is it better that Chaka stay where he is, waits to see whether or not you guys come back? No?
It's never good to split the party.
Never good to split the party. All right. What I got to beat? Oh. What'd you get?
I got a 4 on the die, and my perception is +3, so I got a 7.
I got a 1 on the die, and my perception is...
No,
Is it-
your stealth.
My stealth, I'm sorry. My stealth is +6 for a 7.
So you also got a 7.
Yes.
All right. So you're going back across, and you hear the chittering and stuff, and
Oh, a tie goes to the runner.
no, he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it.
Okay.
He made the DC, but like you're halfway across, and one of these things sticks its head up out of the pit a little bit, and you kind of push your whole body back into this crevice in the rock. And it kind of looks around and it sees the villagers, and it like almost sees your foot. One of your feet is still sticking out of the shadows. You kind of pull it back at the last second, and it kind of spins around and crawls back down and goes back down into the depths. And you make it out without starting a fight. Okay, so now you guys are back in the main room, and you have basically left or right. You guys chose the more or less straight ahead one. I'm not going to rebuild all the terrain. Do you guys want to go left or right? So those were both paths that had a lot less traffic, but it looks like the sand people went down both of them.
Let's go left.
Okay.
That's good.
That's all right.
All right. Welcome back, listeners. We're arguing about which set of stats we're going to use for the Thrycreen in our 5e Dark Sun campaign, even though I put together a PDF from fan-made 5e Dark Sun content that includes everything we need to know about the Thrycreen, but he wants to use the Thrycreen from D&D Beyond that might be from Spelljammer or frickin', I don't know.
Might be. Hold on.
What's the other one? It's Planescape. I don't know. He wants to basically bring in every power that anybody thought a Thrycreen should have since 2nd edition and make it officially. He's like, oh, I should have Chameleon Carapace because no, you don't. You're not one of them Thrycreen. You're a Dark Sun Thrycreen. All right.
Yeah. Now,
You guys go down. So you guys are coming. Oh, I guess I need to do it. You guys are coming down this hall, and you spot this stalagmite. Okay, it's interesting. Can you guys can't even. It's interesting and unique. It kind of juts out into the hallway, and you're noticing it's full. It's riddled with holes, with little, maybe inch and a half, mostly circular holes all up and down its length. And you notice right here the body of a sand person laying here. Corey and Jason, give me a perception check, and then you can see the hallway continues off to the right here.
14.
17.
Chaka, you notice the sand person down there looks partially dissolved. He looks recently dead and partially dissolved, and laying on the ground next to him is one of those gaffy sticks that is also partially dissolved. What do you do?
Wow. I'm able to observe that.
You are. You rolled a 17 on your perception check.
Is there, there are all these holes, you said. Mm-hmm. So he's going to surmise that maybe whatever dissolved him has something to do with those holes.
Okay.
All right. And he's going to relay that back to his barbarian.
His barbarian bestie?
His barbarian bestie, right? The one that we know is so eloquent, right? Because he has the intelligence capability, and the charisma to be eloquent.
He has neither of those things.
He's got neither of those. Right. So you're like you're counting on fingers and
yeah.
Again, it's charisma is the universal dump stat in this group. It's talking your way out of situations is not going to be your jam. Okay, so you two guys in the front are noticing the slightly dissolved state of this guy. Do you send the gladiator ahead, or what do you do?
What? Whoa. What the hell?
Good.
I mean, it's a strategy. It's been employed in the past.
Well, I think
some kind of acid-spitting snakes or something.
Say that again, Derek.
That we're thinking. I think some sort of acid-spit snakes or bugs or something is what we're thinking.
I know what I'm thinking.
Well, the question would be, if this guy's dead, would there be more sand people down the hallway? Because at this point, that's what we're looking for. Is we're looking for these sand people to sing a song.
Right.
You're muted, Matt.
But I got it. Thanks. Yes, we're looking for live sand people. Can we sneak by there, you think? What do you guys... And just continue on?
Some of us probably can.
Yeah. How much
I think Corey, right. Why don't we check the other hallway first?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if this guy's dead, why would anything further down the hall still be alive?
Yep.
Because they made it past.
Well, that's valid, yeah.
They just may not come back this way. He was the slow one of the group.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so you guys go back the other way?
Sure, let's go check out the other hallway. What do you guys think?
Yep.
Yep.
It looks exactly like this hallway.
Probably.
Would I do that to you guys? Me?
This time it's a stalactite.
Right. Totally different situation.
That'll fall on us,
All right. So you guys start heading down the other hallway. Totally different hallway, gentlemen. You're gonna make me read this whole adventure, aren't you?
Yep.
All right. You guys come around this bend, and you see up ahead a single Sandman. Is that what they're called in Star Wars? Sand people? It all of a sudden doesn't sound right to me. Is that what they're called? Sand people.
What's that?
Yeah. Yeah, sand people. Okay. You see a single Sandman, and he's sitting on a stool, and he is doing basket weaving. He's got some fibers, and he's weaving himself a little basket, and just kind of casually singing to himself, Mr. Sandman, boom, 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 bring me a dream, boom, 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 make him the best that I've ever, boom, 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 boom. He's a bass. And behind him, somebody likes my singing. Behind him, you see a thick rope that is kind of up against the wall. It's like a knotted rope that goes up through a sort of shaft in the ceiling. Corey, he looks at you, and you look at him at exactly the same time, and he has his Sandman Tusken Raider helmet off. It's sitting next to him there, and he's kind of stocky for a Sandman, and I think we're going to have him played by a young Danny DeVito, like back in Taxi days. So he's kind of got he's bald on top, and he's kind of got this long hair on the sides, and he's basket weaving, and he looks up and he sees you, and you look at him. What do you do the instant you come around the corner and see this guy sitting there weaving a basket and singing to himself?
Fulgrim will raise his hands in the universal, like, hey, I'm not here to kill you, sign language. Like, hey, calm down. It's going to be okay.
He stops right in the middle of basket weaving and singing, and he's like looking at you. He's obviously a little concerned, but he doesn't necessarily do anything right away. You other guys come around the corner, and he's like, hi there.
Hey,
Want to make $20?
The hard way.
So, and again, out of character. This is a terrible thing for me to be doing, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm not good at this. But here we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
How'd you get in here?
Door.
There have not been any doors, by the way. It's
Well, okay.
tunnel.
You know, tunnels. You help us. We no kill you.
I like
Agreed.
where this is going so far. I like the part where you don't kill me.
Right. Yes.
My name is Snigbat. What's your name?
Oh, well, I didn't expect you to speak so nice. Fulgrim is my name.
What is Fulgrim's weapon?
A maul.
Yeah. Hi, my new friend Fulgrim. I can't help but notice that your maul is covered in blood and looks like brains.
Yep, not gonna lie to you. That's from your other people.
We offered them the same deal, and they refused.
That's what that
Little smart.
commotion. Say what, Darren?
We don't think you're a little smarter than they were.
That's what that commotion was. He looks, his eyes dart to the hole in the ceiling, and he puts down his basket, and he's doing the same thing. He kind of puts his hands up like this a little bit and steps towards you. He's like,
Trying to grab the rope.
Is he moving away from the rope now or towards the rope?
He is
Okay.
moving away from the rope. It's on the wall over here, kind of going up, and he steps towards you guys. And he's like, I bet you guys are here because of those village people we kidnapped. Huh?
That's right.
Now, when I say kidnapped, they came walking right into our cave. Like a DoorDash kind of situation. Okay? So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
They did show up on our door like a packaged lunch.
Right. Yeah. Well, we found him, and we would get him out without bothering you with this, but
We need you to sing.
yeah, we need you to use that pretty voice of yours.
Yeah, we need to feel good, Copper. Yeah. Sing that.
Okay.
Good copper.
So I will help you, but I need you to help me, or I'll end up just as dead as if you guys just killed me.
Why? What's going to kill you?
Probably his friends.
Are you saying we need like 4-part harmony to make this thing work?
No. The problem is Hark.
The Herald?
Don't get that joke. No, Hark is the oracle of the wastes that leads our tribe of sand people, as you call us, Tuscan Raiders, as we call ourselves. He's our leader. He knows all. He sees all. He tells all, and he points towards the hole in the ceiling. And he's like, now, if something was to happen to Hark, and he gives you an exaggerated wink, then, I would be able to help you get your village people out. And then when the rest of the tribe returns and stuff, I would be the new Oracle of the Wastes, or at least the new leader of our band. So maybe you could arrange a little accident for Hark. What do you think?
Is he up there by himself?
No. I'm glad you asked, because I was going to tell you for sure. I was going to tell you. He's up there with his female bodyguards, Racha and Zukluk. If you know it, he does the finger quotes with bodyguards. They're his loyal bodyguards.
Okay. What was your name again, friend?
My name is Snigbat. Snigbat.
Do you think, Snigbat, do you think you could get them to come down here?
Oh, definitely. If you think you could arrange an accident down here more easily, but you gotta make sure that accident happens, because otherwise I'm implicated in a crime.
Is the only way up to his place through that rope there?
Oh yeah, that's part of the problem. Now maybe Grasshopper Man over there could just jump up there, but the rest of you are going to have to figure out how to bum rush him going up that rope.
That's why it'd be fun to get down.
Yeah. I like where your head's at. Don't get me wrong.
What if you told him that the villagers were all leaving?
Yeah, I mean, I could probably get him to come down, but you guys have got to make sure, that you absolutely positively finish him off. So,
yeah.
Will the party make a deal with this treacherous little Sandman and rescue the villagers? Will they have to fight the Lurk? What will be the final fate of the village people? Tune in next time to find out. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on 11 Foot Pole.